Hey guys, Ollie here from Local Knowledge, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite ways to fish, and that's using a jig stick. There's really no type of fishing that is more Southern California than jig fishing. And when we say jig, we're typically talking about a surface iron. Everybody knows what they look like, but in recent years, I've been throwing a lot of these. This is a Gomame jig. This is from Williamson, made by Rapala. And this has been sort of my go-to bait for smaller medium tuna, up to 80 or 100 pounds. This is a 100 gram, which will throw really good with my 9-foot rod. I've got a Carnage 2550 C90. This is a 9-foot jig stick that the guys at Penn had us help them design just for fishing Southern California. For a reel, I'm using a Torque 25 narrow. Any good star drag that's got a narrow spool will work great for this. I really love these Torque reels. It's got great free spool, it's nice and light, and lots of power when I hook that bigger fish. But the key to surface iron fishing is simple, it's practice. The most important thing for you to learn to really become proficient at casting an open face conventional reel like this is thumb control. Too much pressure with your thumb and that lure is gonna splash down next to the boat. Not enough pressure with the thumb and we all know what happens. You're gonna blow up the reel and have a massive backlash. This is really the magic. When I first start to cast, I'm holding my thumb tight and keeping the spool from moving. As I get to my release point, I'm taking my thumb off and I'd say I'm applying 5 to 10% pressure, just a tiny, tiny bit of pressure. Then as I see the jig about to hit the water, I clamp my thumb down again. And that is the feeling and the training that you need to give your thumb in order to be successful with it. The things you need to learn about surface iron fishing in order to be successful with it, first, bring the lure about to the reel handle. And I'm by no means a professional. There are guys that can cast a surface iron way better than I can. I've been doing it for years. I'm definitely proficient and I love doing it. But bring your lure down about as far as the handle. The correct form, at least the way I do it, is I put my hand on the bottom of the handle. I kind of got this cocked off at about, 45-degree angle, and I just swap position with my hands, like this. That's it, and you can see it's pretty effortless. It reminds me a lot of a golf swing, and all the power really comes from your hips. You're turning your hips closed, and the rod's sort of flying with it. I'm not making a lot of big motion with my arms or anything like that. I'll do it again so you can kind of check it out. I'm bringing the lure out of the water. I wound it a little close to the tip. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get the knot out, drop the lure down here. A lot of times I'll catch it in my hand, get ready to throw, and I let it swing away from me. That's the other thing, is you start the pendulum motion by letting the lure swing away. And then you just kick your hips shut, turn your hands over, and the thing takes off. I can't emphasize it enough. This is not something you want to learn on a party boat, on a buddy's boat, going out for the first time, whatever. Go to a park, cut the hook off of your favorite lure, and just practice, and practice, and practice. I can still remember casting an iron at the park by my parents' house, when I was probably 12 or 14 years old. I wanted to be able to throw one of these like the big boys. And when you grew up fishing on a party boat, there was always the guys at the front of the boat that caught all the fish. It's because they could cast that surface iron longer, they knew which iron to select and how to really make it work. Then once you start to get a little bit more proficient with it, you can experiment with different styles of casts. If I'm casting downwind, I'm gonna release that lure sooner so it flies up in the sky and let the wind catch it and carry it further. And the wind doesn't seem like that big of an advantage, but it can mean 20, 30, 40 yards of extra distance depending on how hard it's blowing. Alternatively, if it's blowing really hard in my face, which we try to set the anglers up, if there's a school of yellowtail or tuna, we want to be upwind so the angler can make a cast downwind into the fish, but that doesn't always work out. You can use a later release and fling it lower like a bullet cutting through the wind so you get maximum distance. And then you'll find after a while, you'll be up here with a couple other guys trying to cast and you can sidearm cast. There is really few things more fun than seeing a yellowtail or a tuna blow up on your surface iron. This is a great way to throw a popper to those local fish. This is also a great way for catching, your barracuda, your bonita, all that stuff around the kelp beds. It just makes fishing more fun in my opinion. I hope this helps you out, and if it does, give us a subscribe or leave us a comment and let us know. What do you struggle with? What do you want to see next? If you have questions about it, we use your comments to shape these future videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the water soon.